In order to have a positive self-image, you first must break the conditioning. Because the conditioning is what they put in place for you to have a poor self-image. We must first get rid of the conditioning and then erect in its place a positive self-image. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do both of these because everything proceeds from your self-image, whether it be good habits, bad habits, good mental health, or bad mental health. So we first have to see what we're up against. What is this conditioning? We have a bunch of puppet masters controlling society. Can't go too far into who they are because youth doesn't like that. But we're just going to say Bill Gates, chicken neck bastard Bill Gates. Man-titty having Bill Gates. I'm going to say he's the puppet master because it makes it easy to visualize, alright? And he's controlling society. The anonymous, so to speak, are controlling society. And these people really don't like you. These people hate you. These people want you to be losers, okay? Because when you're a loser, they can control you. And how do they do this? Look at the attack on masculinity, because a positive self-image for men would be like, I'm the man. I'm a man. So I do this. And what you do are traditional masculine gender roles as espouted in the Bible. What men are supposed to do are primal desires to be men. What they want to do is get rid of that and put in place a soy desire, a soy boy desire, to where you're going out like, well, wanting to work out, that's really toxically masculine. If you work out, you're more likely to die. I think there was some study, especially if you're white. I think there was some study, some news article that said that. It's crazy. They don't want you being a man. Because when you're a man, you can actually stand up to them and say, no, this is wrong, I won't do it. Now, it's very important you realize this. I start with this because it's very important to realize for conditioning. Everything comes from there. Because these people control society. Now, what are you consuming every day? Societal stuff. If you're my age, you would be in school right now, assuming you're not skipping or something, or you haven't dropped out like me, 17. You'd be in school right now. And school doesn't want you to be masculine. I mean, there was a story my friend told me. And apparently, when Florida passed the Don't Say Gay bill, although it didn't say that in the bill, a bunch of people did walkouts in school. And were doing these protest things. Why? They've been societally conditioned. Because if you read the bill, it's common sense. Yeah, you shouldn't talk about the stuff in front of kids. But all these robots and all these people who consume the condition are like, well, this is really wrong. We have to let the teachers talk about, what they like in the bed in school. Does that even make sense to you? Why would they do that? It's conditioning. If you think about it logically, yeah, they shouldn't. But they've been conditioned. Look at the news. The news was also to use the same example, the news was pushing that too. The Don't Say Gay bill, the Don't Say Gay bill, this is really oppressive. No, it's not. That's what the news was saying. Social media. Okay? Because you don't realize, a lot of people don't realize this, it's very simple, okay? The average person is consuming the news, or consuming the news narratives. They're consuming what they're being taught in school, they're consuming what they see on TV and whatnot. When you go on social media, it's really just a culmination, unless you curate your feed, unless you're just watching my videos, you have a culmination of the average person. It's all a culmination. And what does the average person believe? They believe whatever they're told. Okay, so you're really fighting quite the battle here. All right, everywhere you look, you have people espouting propaganda that damages your self-image. And this really goes to vices, because vices really prevent you from having a good self-image because they completely mess up your brain. I've talked about them before. I made videos about how to quit all three. Social media, explicit content, video games. All three of these are psyops by the people who control society in order to deteriorate your self-image and deteriorate your mental health in general. They hijack your primal desires. They make you a lazy bastard. Alright? If you don't believe me, look at the average person who's addicted to all three of these. And don't tell me, well, I'm not addicted, I only do it in moderation. No such thing. If you actually have good mental health, if you actually have a good self-image, you won't really desire to do any three of these things. You won't be like, I'm scrolling on social media, girl with thick thighs, video game, I gotta win my Madden game, I gotta win my Roblox football game. If you actually have a positive self-image, you won't really want to do that because you understand your life outside of this fake reality. Because think about this is all fake reality. Like, this is all simulation. That's simulation. This is literally a simulation. Video games are literally a simulation. Literally. And explicit content is also simulation. You're simulating yourself watching other people do it. And you're turning yourself into a cuck. Or you're just watching a girl by yourself. In that case, you're simulating you watching a girl not give it to you, but show you around, I guess. It's crazy, bro. Like, think about that. That's what it is. These are all simulations. This is all fake. And even when it's simulating, 99% of the time, it isn't even worth it. Even if you're putting in reality, I mean, is watching a guy, oh, hopefully it's not two dudes. You're really far gone if that's your case. But like watching a dude and a girl go at it, is that really a positive simulation? And by the way, this is why a lot of men are cucks. And what's a part of the soy boy? Listen, this is it. All right, I'm tying it together here. What's a part of the soy boy mindset? Well, my girl can do whatever she wants. She can talk to a bunch of dudes and whatever. And that's really just one step behind. Like, one step behind. Like, it's really close. Like, just one small step forward while other dudes do my girl. And that's what explicit content is simulating. It's what they want for you. They want to destroy your life. It's very crucial you understand this. Because once you understand this, you're going to be far more skeptical of what they say. 99% of what they tell you is a lie. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, I know the news is lying. I know all this other stuff. But if you really did, if these people who say that really did, they wouldn't be falling for the conditioning, because you ask them questions about subjects like, well, what do you think about, I don't know, feminism? Like, well, feminism is a really empowering movement and all this other crap. No, it's not. It's the complete opposite. If you think feminism is an empowering movement, then you have fallen for the conditioning. Because read the origins of feminism. Look into it. You will realize very quickly the whole point was to destroy the nuclear family. Destroy the family. And guess what? When you have a poor family, a poor nuclear family, everyone's self-image gets destroyed. Think about the average family now. Like, I am putting everything together. I am so smart. Think of the average family now. All right, you have a 40-year-old dude who's fat, who doesn't get it from his wife, and he hates his life. He works some job he doesn't like. The wife doesn't have a man that she likes. I mean, maybe she cheats, but she's cheating. I mean, is that really a positive thing? She's fallen for this feminism thing. She probably didn't have as many kids as she wanted. She wasn't able to attract a man that was actually a man that could fulfill her primal desires because she fell for the propaganda. Yeah, she has some kids, so I guess it's not that bad. Could be worse. Could be some cat lady, which, some people have fallen for the propaganda and became cat ladies. Just 50-year-old women with no kids and just 10 cats. And of course, the kids, this is what they're growing up with. These are their role models. They see every day. Two parents that don't even love each other. How do you think they're going to develop? They're not being taught important things. They're just being fed propaganda. That's what they want. So you have to stick it to them and say, hey, I'm not falling for this. Nice try. You're trying to spread all this propaganda, put it in my face. Nice try. It's not going to work. I'm going to improve my self-image, and I'm actually going to live up to my God-given potential. That's what you have to say. That's what I want you to say right now. I am not going to fall for the propaganda. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to win against these people. I'm going to stick it to them. I'm going to get this rope that they're trying to strangle me with, grab it, strangle them with it, and say, hey, I'm taking control of my life, and I will live up to my God-given potential. That's what you have to say to yourself. Because if you don't, you're not confronting reality. Or you're just running away. I guess both are the same thing. You can either accept this, and then you're just a soy boy. You're just a cuck. You accept people dominating you. Great job, you're gay. Or you can try running away. Like, none of this is true. I don't want to do it. It sounds hard. And you just confront reality and run away. Or the third option and the correct option. You stick it to them. This is what you have to do. So now I'm going to talk about actually erecting a positive self-image. And it's true. Again, I haven't mentioned it. I made videos about quitting social media, video games, and explicit content. You need to watch those videos if you're currently addicted to those. And don't come at me with moderation, all right? But at the same time, you can do both of these things at the same time. You can break the conditioning, strip it away. It's not going to happen instantly. You could strip it away. But repeating what I just told you is a very important starting point. But, stripping it away. Right? You start building the foundations. You start building this positive self-image at the same time. You can do all this at the same time. All right, so if you want to improve your self-image, you first have to visualize success. And you decide what success is. All right, don't think with your soy boy mind. Think about with your actual primal mind. All right, what do you want? You're a man. What do you want? and visualize things from top down to top. All right, everyone does it wrong. They visualize, first of all, they don't even visualize success. They visualize losing, which deteriorates your self-image. Actually, that's another thing they condition you to do. They condition you to think you're a loser. Now, everything proceeds from your mind. Remember that. So if you're thinking all the time, well, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. I'm a loser. If that's what you're thinking in your mind all the time, guess what? You're actually going to be a loser. On the other hand, if you start thinking you're a winner, you're actually going to start being a winner. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. Think about it like top, down, top. Now, this is what I do, because a lot of people say bottom to top. Some people say top to bottom. I say, or some people just say top in general. Top. But I say you got to go up, down, and up. All right, now I'm going to explain this because it probably doesn't make any sense since I haven't defined the terms. So think of up like the actual end result. So let's say being a basketball player, all right, winning the game, going into the locker room with a win. That's what you visualize. That's up. Now, if you go to the bottom, it's actually the journey to get to that point. So you're like, okay, you go into the game, you visualize yourself doing really good in the game. You're making all your shots, you're making the right passes, you're making the right reads, you're getting steals, you're getting blocks. All right? Then you go back up and you visualize success. That's the pattern you want to do. Because it's going to help you, because when you visualize something, there were some studies that were done. You know, they compared people who visualize in sports. They compared people who visualize practice and people who actually went to practice, and they had like the same results at the end of it. So you want to visualize yourself having success in the journey, which is the bottom, but you also want to visualize yourself winning, which is the top. Understand? So when you do this is going to really improve your self-image, because you're really telling yourself over and over again, and this takes time, but you're telling yourself over and over and over again, I can do it. I can do it. You need to be a bit arrogant. Arrogant. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, arrogant, pride. Pride is the deadliest sin. Don't be prideful. True pride, because this is propaganda that they tell you. This is liberal propaganda. Being proud of yourself, liking anything is immediately considered bad. Because that's what the condition, that's what they want you to think. Because if you don't take any quote-unquote pride, I know pride, the word has been completely hijacked by these people that I don't have exactly the most positive opinion of, but that's a really funny way of putting it. But if you aren't proud at all in what you do, then how are you going to do a good job? That's a very simple thing. That's why they don't want you to have any quote-unquote pride. They want you to have pride. They want you to have that type of pride, but like actual, real pride, so to speak, they want you to have. Now, there's a third type of pride, which is actually the deadliest sin, which is putting things before God. Because that's what pride actually means in terms of the biblical context when it talks about the deadliest sin. And I completely agree. Nothing comes before God, whether it's you or another person or another thing. Nothing comes before God. That's true pride, and I'm vehemently against that. Always remember, and this is why I say arrogant in quotes, you're always under God. You always have to submit to God's commands. Okay? Do what's right. With that being said, you have to really believe in yourself when you visualize. You have to really believe you can do anything, because, again, this is the conditioning here. If I were to tell you, visualize yourself being a good businessman, a lot of you, if you're at zero right now, you may be thinking, well, I'll make like $1,000 a month. Yeah. Only 1,000? Is that all you're capable of? Why not 1,000,000? Why not 10,000? Why not 50,000? Why 1,000? And a lot of people are going to be like, well, I don't think I can do anything more. Why? Now, this is really where you're going to start making a lot of progress. This is where you're breaking the conditioning. If you want to visualize something, but your brain tells you, I don't think I can really do that, get out a piece of paper, get out a notepad, and write down why. All right, if your brain's like, well, we can't do anything more than 1,000 a month, ask yourself, well, why? Well, I don't think we're that smart. And then write it down. You want to do this for every single thing. Every single thing you want in your life, do this. And ask yourself, is this really a valid reason? Like, for example, being smart. Well, there's a lot of stupid people making a lot of money, aren't they? So that isn't really a valid reason, is it? Your brain, because it's conditioned, And it's also, your brain's also likes being comfortable. It likes being comfortable and it's also conditioned. It's going to be working against you. Don't trust it. Okay? Don't trust the first thoughts that come into your head. Actually break them down. And when you start breaking them down, you're going to start breaking the conditioning. You're going to stick it to them. Then you can start erecting positive thoughts. You're like, you know what? Not only does being smart not really matter, but also, I am smart. What's stopping you from saying that? Break the conditioning. And also ask yourself, has there been any events in my life that make me think this way? Maybe one of my teachers when I was very young called me stupid, so now I think I'm stupid. There's a lot of people like that. You want to write that down. And you really want to think about it. And you really want to break it down. Write it down, break it down. And of course, this takes time. Just because you write it down one time and you actually think about it doesn't mean it's completely going to go away. This stuff takes time. Because for a very long time, you've been repeating to yourself, subconsciously, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I want to be a soy boy, I want to be a soy boy, I want to be a soy boy, because of how they conditioned you. It takes time to break that. But this is how you break it. This is how you stick it to them. Okay? You have to keep doing this every single day. So over and over and over and over. Eventually you're going to break through it. And breaking through is an amazing feeling. Okay? I'm someone who's broken through these type of things. It's just like quitting, let's say, explicit content. I tried for years quitting it. Talk about this in a video I made about quitting it. Years. Literal years. Quitting. Trying to quit. And then one day it just breaks through and you just don't want to do it anymore. Same thing with your self-image. One day your self-image just improves and you're really confident. That's an amazing feeling. And I want you to have that feeling. So that's why I'm making this video. Now, what you have to do now, you've done this kind of visualization. You know what you've kind of figured out what you want. Now, you have to act on your identity. So you were a bit arrogant earlier, in quotations. Now you got to act on it. Don't talk just to talk. Don't visualize just to visualize. It should be part of your identity. You know what? I said I'm going to accomplish this. I said I'm going to be good at that. So I'm going to be good at it. And you give it your darndest effort. Darndest effort. I'm pulling out the white boy words. Darndest effort. The white dad words. Better give your darndest effort. And it has to be a real conviction when you say and visualize these type of things. Don't be the type of person who just visualizes. And when I say visualize, it's kind of like, I want to say manifestation. But it's not the hippie liberal manifestation stuff, because these people are retards, right? They're like, well, I'm going to visualize $1 million in my bank account, and they think they're actually going to get $1 million. No, it's dumb. Don't think that's what I mean by visualization. You can visualize $1 million in your bank account, I guess, but you can't think just because I visualize it's going to happen. Use the visualization to get you pumped up a little bit, give you the esteem, give you the thought that you can actually do it. Because if you want to do something, you have to think you can actually do it. If you're one of these type of people, and there's a bunch of people out there. For example, girls is a really good example of this. There's a bunch of people like, well, I can never get that girl. She's too pretty. It's like, well, now you can't get her because you said yourself you can't get her. The same thing with everything else. So really, this visualization, the self-image stuff is really to help you think, I can do it. And that's a very powerful belief because most people don't think they can do it. But you can. Believe me, you can. Okay? You can. But don't make it some manifestation liberal hippie stuff, okay? We're realistic here. We're actually real. Now, we're going to wrap this up by talking about dealing with poison and trying, okay? So dealing with poison, what's poison? So poison we already went over earlier, conditioning from society, right? And I guess this is kind of a branch off from there, but these are people you interact with, your friends. If you have some crappy friends, and watch my video about friends, okay? Watch my video about friends because it's going to be very valuable for this. But if you have some trash friends, they're going to poison your mind. They're going to poison this journey because you're going to start talking. Because truthfully, when you actually improve your self-image, people are going to start thinking you're arrogant or really cool. You're going to start being polarizing. Like me, I'm polarizing now. Before, when I was a loser, no one really cared. Right? Now people do care. But people either care by saying, oh, well, that guy's arrogant. Or they're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. I want to talk to him. I want to get to know him. Trust me, the second is far better than the first. But your friends may become a bit polarized with you as well. You know, some of them might think, oh, well, This guy's crazy. This guy said he's gonna get $1 million. Can't do that. That's crazy. That stuff is poison. Don't surround yourself with people who are doubting your goals, doubting your mission. Now, if you're being mental, like if you're saying I'm going to turn into a dinosaur, then yeah, they should. They're good friends if they tell you that's retarded. But if you're just saying, I want a Ferrari, I want to get a Ferrari, that would be cool. I really want a Ferrari. And they're like, oh, you can never get a Ferrari. That's like rich people. You can't get a Ferrari. Can't happen. That's poison right there. Disconnect. Watch my video about friends and understand how to disconnect and how to, bring them on board and whatnot. But you can't be around poison, okay? This is very critical, especially at the start. When you're just trying to break the conditioning and trying to erect this positive self-image, you need to stay away from this. It's crucial. Now, this is the most important thing right here. I know I've given you a bunch of value and your mind is blown, but this is the most important thing right here. Trying. The saying goes, that one saying everyone uses, it's probably a bit cliche at this point. It's probably a bit cringy because a bunch of stupid people used it, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Understand that. A positive self-image isn't built in one day. Breaking away the conditioning is not built in one day. You need to keep trying. I'm going to be honest with you. I could lie to you, be one of these retards like, how to completely change your self-image in 1 week. I guess it could happen in 1 week, but truthfully, if we're being realistic here, it takes a lot of time. It takes years. You know how long it took me for this explicit... just mumbling my words right there. You know how long it took me to quit explicit content? It took me like 4 years. 4+ years. Now, if I had someone like me talking about how to quit and what to do and whatnot, it would have been a lot shorter, but the point is, it takes time. Never forget that. And you know what? You could visualize yourself. Visualizing and having things come to fruition. You can visualize yourself improving your self-image. You can visualize yourself being a super confident guy with a great self-image. You can do that. Okay? This is all part of a bigger movement because your self-image, like I said at the start of this video, everything proceeds from your self-image. And we want to be strong masculine men. And that's what this movement's about. Build back Christian men. If you want to join this movement, changing the world. Link in description to the Discord. Follow me on Instagram, like my posts so my Instagram looks better. Subscribe to the channel for future videos. Check out the playlist in the description. The must-watch videos, you're going to see a lot of the important ones. The ones I referred to in this video are going to be in there. A lot of important videos in there. Go to my website, give me your email so I can send you newsletters, and subscribe. I already said that. But I gotta get better at these call to action. Whatever. You're going to do what I say because I'm amazing. Those are my call to actions. See you in the next video. I lost my mouse on my screen. Alright, there it is. Alright, see you in the next video.